Chile getting some support, as you'd expect, for Arigada and Dekar. I think we're good to go. So it's all about picking up the points in the Madison, in the sprints. You can gain a lap, get 20 points. We've seen some crashes in the women's Madison as well. Hopefully we don't see any crashes in this men's event. Canada had a chance of a medal going into the women's Madison, but a fall early on, a collision with USA. Canada were out, and they take the gun. 200 laps, 50 kilometers. We have a sprint every 10 laps. And those sprint points, 5 points for the win, 3 for second, 2 for third, 1 for fourth in the sprint, and you can gain a lap. As I was saying, if you gain a lap, it's 20 points. If you lose a lap, you lose 20 points. And we add all the points up at the end, and whoever's got the most wins. Pretty simple, really. It's always a captivating race. Mainstay of 6-day racing. Essentially a bit of a relay race. As I say, you can change as many times as you want with the hand sling. A push is also allowed. And you're looking for that sort of blue stayers line on the track. You've got to get above that line when you're resting. You're not really resting, you're trying to keep up. Well, not keep up with the pace, but you're still moving around the track, but not at full race pace. So all 7 teams, as you'd expect at the start, still all together. You've got to keep your eyes open in this race. You've got to watch for the attacks. You've got to watch when you're making a change. There's Michael Foley for Canada. He's on the front right now. Mexico marking here. Gaining a lap can be absolutely key with those 20 points on offer. Didn't see anyone gain a lap in the women's race. You never know, maybe the men's race will play out a little differently. So we're winding up towards the very first sprint. And they take the bell. Couple of changes being made. Chile on the attack, and the velodrome erupts. It's Chile, Argentina, and Canada. 5 points to Chile. And now Chile, Argentina, and Canada. Or Chile, Argentina, Colombia, and Canada are at the front. So Colombia picking up 1 point. And often you get, oh, there's nearly a bit of contact between Argentina and Chile there. 19 sprints to go. Oh, then there's a huge crash. Canada down. And this race is neutralized. This race has been neutralized. Well, that is Michael Foley. The whistle's blowing. We've got a rider down in a dangerous position. As we hear those whistles, they're telling the riders this race is neutralized. Please don't race. I think the riders have got the message now. Well, these things happen. Red flag, the race is stopped. Rightly so. The Mexican rider down, involved in a collision with Canada. Well, we'll see it again. Well, I think the Canadian rider maybe made contact with the Colombian rider, starts to lose his balance, and into the Mexican. There was nearly a bit of contact with the Colombian rider after that as well. So there's a swerve in front, Chile and Colombia. Colombian rider having to move, and the US rider into the back of Michael Foley. Well, I'm pleased to see Mexico back on their feet, as were Canada. Haven't spotted Team USA yet, appear to be on their feet, which is remarkable when you see the speed that they're crashing up. Fernando Nava getting his number pinned back on. It's one of these things that can happen so easily in a Madison. A few cuts and scrapes there. Well, if you go down at 50 kilometers an hour or so on the track, you're going to get them. So Grant Kuntz is riding again. There is Fonseca from Brazil. And Michael Foley. Apologies if you hear any inappropriate language. Twitchy is what Michael Foley's describing it as. It means everyone's pretty nervous. There's bikes moving around when maybe their rider's not expecting it, expecting to see any movement. Now, I hope the track doesn't need any repairs either. That was a pretty high-speed fall, and you saw the bike of Michael Foley almost dig in. Just depends on the angle that the bike hits the track, but they do chip pretty easily. So Nava's back on his bike. We'll see it again. It's the movement up there by Chile. Colombia follows, and Foley's really got nowhere to go, and you could see him staring down. Grant Kuntz was coming, and there was nothing he could do. The commissaires rightly stopping that one. They neutralized it, but eventually the red flag came out. The race is neutralized. They would keep moving around the track, but the red flag coming out. Important to make sure everyone is okay. So Team Colombia just taking on some water. Again, commissaires will be looking at the replays of this one, see if there's any major infringements. Now, for me, Foley was reacting to what happened in front of him. The Colombia moved, but Colombia was reacting to Chile in front of that little train. So the commissaire just getting everybody lined up in position again. We'll get this race restarted. We've had one sprint. Chile took it, 5 points. Argentina 3, Canada 2, Colombia 1. And we'll get the racing back underway again. It looks like everybody is okay to continue. .189 laps still to go. There, the Mexican rider up on the railing. Now, of course, those riders that have been involved in the crash may be feeling few effects of those crashes, but we get back underway. 189 laps to go. All 7 teams still in the race, and just got to try and ride off the damage. So 7 riders get going again. And the gun starts, and those riders that were up on the railing will be moving now as well. In any second now, there they go. So Canada taking it up on the front. The clock continues from when the race was stopped. They make the change, and now Michael Foley on the front, and this will wind up a little bit. I'm sure the commissaires just told everyone, be careful, be smart out there, sensible with the changes, watch when you're moving to the top of the track. So it's Canada on the front with Michael Foley. They've got 2 great team pursuit riders in their squad for this Madison. Argentina wanting to take a turn. Well, not quite on the front, because Chris Earls says, no, we're gonna stay on the front here. See some teams like to take a couple of longer turns, and some changing pretty regularly. Oh, we nearly got another rider down. There's a terrible change from Chile. The 2 teammates making contact. I don't think they actually were able to make the change in the end. Well, we nearly had another huge crash. It would have been a big crash as well. 2 laps to go until the sprint. A change for Canada. Chris Earns, Michael Foley, I apologize, on the front with Colombia. So next sprint coming up, Canada still out in front, Colombia there. Mexico in the mix as well. Colombia make a change, but Canada are going to go for the long one here. They were 3rd in the first sprint, but Canada followed by Colombia. And now we see Colombia trying to go off the front. It's Argentina. All back together. Canada picking up the 5 points in that one. 2 going to Mexico, 1 to Argentina. So Canada lead. Chile in 2nd place. They got the first sprint. Colombia in 3rd. Early days in the Madison though. See Canada just trying to get back in touch, and USA out of the main group at the moment. It's only USA that actually don't have any points. There we see the battered and bruised figure of Fernando Nava, but he doesn't appear to be showing any after effects just yet. Just got to watch in these midpoints between the sprints to see if anybody decides to go for it. It's all coming back together again, all 7 riders. Oh, this Canada and Chile nearly were coming together. USA trying to get into position here, but there's still a couple of laps until the next sprint. Brazil's on the front right now. Colombia are going to make a change here. Now Brazil going off, and change coming for Canada as we enter the sprint lap. Brazil looking to get on the board here. Canada and Colombia battling. Are they the two gold medal favorites? Colombia round the outside of Canada, but Canada holding them off. Brazil are going to take the 5 points. 3 go to Canada, 2 to Colombia. So Canada moved to 10 points. Colombia on to 6. USA getting in the mix now with 1 point. So all the teams have scored. So Canada on 10. Colombia on 6. Brazil now have 5 after winning that sprint. Chile still with 5 as well. Mexico with 2, Argentina with 3, USA with 1. Always handy, try and get on the board early. That is what Canada are doing. If you do that, you can start to potentially even defend against losing a lap, but it'll be a real battle over the next 165 laps to see who is going to take this men's Madison. The race is just settled down a little bit, the nervousness going out of it. First few laps are always a bit chaotic. Everyone settles into the rhythm of the race. Next sprint will be in 2 laps' time. They'll take the bell on the next lap. Canada trying to get back into position to pick up the points. Canada have got 4 points on Colombia. Take the bell on the next lap, I should say. So can Argentina get into it? They're on 3 points at the moment. Well, we seem to have been stuck at 162 laps for about 3 laps now. Pretty sure this time they're going to take the bell. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times. There we go, finally, the bell. Yeah, 161 to go on the sprint lap. Oh, and it's Mexico off the front here. This is a good attack. The other teams are going to have to respond. Mexico are going to pick up the maximum 5 points here. Colombia are going to get 3. Brazil will pick up 2 points there. So smart move by Mexico to pick up the maximum points, just the 1 for Canada. They move on to 11. Colombia on 9. Brazil up to 7, along with Mexico. And we've got the Mexican rider off the front at the moment, Peña Salas. And they make a change. It's over to Fernando Nava. Now, can he get away? We see the rest of the group trying to bring him in. They will not want to let Mexico pick up 20 points. But he's getting away here. Mexico have got to work together. He's built it up to nearly a half-lap advantage. Coming out the back of the sprint. Well, this is a dangerous attack. If Mexico could gain a lap, they will be absolutely in the driver's seat. This has been timed to perfection for Mexico. Coach is watching on. Grant Kuntz for the USA there, riding alongside Chris Ernst from Canada. Arango from Colombia on the front, and he's starting to go now. But here comes the Mexican rider, Nava. This has been a big, big effort from both the Mexicans. Nava going into 4K pursuit mode. You can see the main group of riders. A change for Colombia. Jordan Parra and Mexico are going to get the 5 points here. We're on the sprint lap. It's going to be 5 to Mexico. They'll move to 12. Mexico take it. Colombia looking like they're going to get the 3. We'll confirm all the scores there, but Mexico move up to 12 points. They're out in front, and now Colombia riding off the front as well. And Mexico, the effort seems to be over. Well, Canada getting 2, USA getting 1. Tie for second between Colombia and Mexico. Canada moved to 13. Brazil still on 7 points in 4th place. Chile still on 5. Argentina a little further back. USA struggling to get into it. Maybe Grant Kuntz is carrying an injury, and that would impact the team. Mexico seem determined, committed to gain this lap. He's almost got them on the straights now. He's going to do it, surely. He's going to catch them. And this is spectacular from Mexico. Mexico are going to gain a lap unless something goes drastically wrong. Obviously, they're pointing at the rider in the lead of the race, and that is Mexico at the head of the race at the moment. Just maybe another couple of laps of effort, and Mexico will have the 20 points. The points are all going to change around here. Mexico would move to 32, but they've not quite done it yet. We're on the sprint lap. Now Mexico still at the front of the race. They're going to pick up another 5 points here. The rest of the group on the sprint lap, and the gap has just gone out again. I thought they were going to do it. Mexico get the 5. Michael Foley sprinting for Canada, but it's Chile who get it. Chile get the 3 points. Canada get the 2 points. They move to 15, but Mexico in the lead with 17 and still hunting that lap. Well, what an attack from Mexico. Argentina getting 1 point in that one. Still a lot of sprints to go. It's Mexico in the lead by 2 points. Mexico have lapped Brazil, so Brazil would lose points now. Or has he been lapped? He's kind of unlapped himself. We'll wait for the official word. But Mexico still haven't caught up with the lead group yet. Agonizingly close. They're still in the lead of this race on 17 points. maybe Brazil weren't lapped. Canada riding on the fronts, and the gap is growing out. I think the energy expended by Mexico has been so much, but can they do it? So close. It was a smart move, but the energy looks like it may have gone out of the legs. The group are just in front. They are going to wind up now, and the gap will increase, but Mexico will get another 5 points here. So Mexico move on to 22 points and take the sprint. But when these sprints come around, the gap decreases. Chile get another 3 points. Canada getting 2. So Canada move on to 17. Chile on to 11. Oh, and another big crash. Oh, 2 riders down. And the race going to be neutralized. Argentina down, Colombia down. You hear the shouting, tranquilo, tranquilo. So Mexico on 16. So Canada on 16. Mexico on 22. Colombia getting 3 points on the last sprint. And what happened here? Chile, the rider from Chile moving to the front, moving up the track. Colombia collide with Argentina. Well, it's all happening here, isn't it? The race is neutralized. Told, just be careful, there's a rider. Well, they're on their feet again. So you got Mexico in the lead on 22, Canada on 16, Colombia on 15. The laps do tick by when those whistles are going, and we're on the sprint lap again. The rest of the group taking the bell. So USA taking the sprint there. Well, with those crashes, there's riders all over the track, and USA getting 5 points, and that kick-starts their challenge a little bit. Quite late in the race, but there's still time. So USA off the front. We'll just wait for the confirmation. Mexico getting 3 points, Colombia 2, Canada 1. Well, Mexico getting the 45 points. They did gain the lap. Long, long way to go. Just nearly at the halfway point, about 117 laps to go. And Mexico well in command. So Mexico gaining the lap. They're on 45. And that is a big, big lead. And Mexico are going to be marking Colombia and Canada. Chile on 4th place on 10 points. USA still on the front, and if they could gain a lap, which they might actually be about to do, attacking from nowhere. Hadn't been super active in any of the sprints. So USA back in the bunch after a big attack there. Colby Lang. The bell goes again. We're on the sprint lap. Oh, this Brazilian rider's in the way there. That's just a feature of Madison racing, and Mexico are not done yet. So Mexico and Canada. Grant Coons there for USA. No points for USA, but 5 to Mexico, 3 to Canada, 2 to Colombia, 1 to Argentina. And the next sprint will be at the halfway point with 100 laps to go. And USA did gain the lap. So USA right up in the medal picture now. Canada in 3rd place. But the key thing there for Mexico, they keep picking up the points in the sprints as well. So USA right in the hunt now for a medal after gaining that lap. It came after the carnage of the crash and the race being neutralized. Once we were racing again, USA off the front. The advantage of those attacks is, aside from potentially gaining a lap, you can also pick up an extra 5 points by being out on your own for the sprint lap. Well, Argentina just avoiding the change from Chile. So much support for Chile. Well, Mexico have the lead in this one. 50 points they're on. Team to watch out for perhaps is Chile. Can they look at maybe trying to gain a lap? They're starting to ride on the front a little bit more. Argentina, Chile, USA, Canada, Colombia, Mexico. I think Brazil, not sure if they're even still on the track. So we wind up for a sprint. Yeah, Brazil still are on the track. Argentina on the front. We're on the sprint lap. Can Argentina get into the mix? And Chile take it. Argentina second. USA coming across the line in 3rd. 5 more points to Chile. Canada keep picking up the points as well. Now, got to watch that Chile don't go for an attack off the front here. Or Argentina for that matter. USA getting the 2 points. Canada the 1 point. USA 21 points behind Mexico. Canada 8 points back. Colombia still in touch with Canada for a medal. For the US strategy of gaining a lap. Working. They're in the hunt, but Mexico still far ahead. I can't see Mexico not picking up many points in the sprints either. They're in the mix in this race. Canada just getting off the front. It's marked by Mexico. Chile follow. Colombia and the USA. And a little dig there from Canada off the front. So now Chile in the front, Canada still there as well. Well, Argentina are being disqualified. So Argentina out of it. That'll be for maybe that last incident where the rider was moving up and down the track, where we saw the race neutralized for the second time. So Argentina disqualified. So they're out of it. And that just frees up a little bit more space on the track. Can make the racing a bit cleaner, but it can mean there's less carnage, less chaos. So finding that little moment to break away and try and gain a lap could be very difficult. Mexico are going to take the sprint again. And Chile pip Canada. Chile get the 3 points, Canada the 2 points. And this is going very well for Fernando Nava and Ricardo Peña-Salas. Chile now a little bit more active. Getting themselves into this race. So Mexico still on the front. It's like they're aware of the danger of Chile. Colombia picking up 1 in the last sprint as well. Still 19 sprints to go. And it's Mexico with a huge lead. Canada closed the gap in slightly on USA. Colombia on 20. Mexico on 55 points. 21 ahead of the USA. 26 ahead of the USA, I should say. I said earlier in the track program that maths is not my strong point. It was probably during a points race. So USA on the front, Mexico, they're making a change. Chile, Colombia, Canada. 5 teams that are active in this race. Brazil have they lost a lap, so Brazil down on -13 at the moment. I think they are still. Now Brazil are out of it. You can see the 2 riders there at the bottom of the track. So it's all about these 5 teams, and it's going to be so hard to gain a lap now. Onto the sprint lap. Chile making a change. They're making a charge here in this race. Mexico come through and deny Colombia, but Chile get the 5, Mexico the 3. Colombia picking up the 2 points for that one. Canada try and launch an attack off the front after that sprint. But this is about endurance as well as your sprinting power. Great atmosphere. Well, some of the pace just coming out of the race. Not to be expected, it's been unexpected, it's been frantic so far. Who has got the legs to go on and challenge? Chile are doing some calculations at the moment. Well, everything kind of just settling down a little here. 5 teams left out on the track. Mexico, USA, Canada, Colombia, and Chile. Colombia and Chile outside of the medals at the moment. And all of these teams really keenly marking each other. 74 laps to go. See, we're going into just defensive mode at the moment. This is because nobody wants to let anyone gain a lap, especially at this stage. Mexico inject the pace back into the race. Commissaire pointing at the leader of the race, Mexico. Canada on the front, Chile and Colombia. Mexico and the USA. That bell rung with real vigor. Colombia taking it up, Chile in second place at the moment. This is the sprint. Canada in third, and Canada get the 3 points. Chile get the 5 points there. Colombia get the 3 points, and Chile are moving a little closer to Canada. I've got Chile having won 4 sprints now. And Chile are working their way into this race, and Canada have got to be careful. They're in the bronze medal spot at the moment. Canada's still picking points up. They did have a little bit of an advantage. So Mexico still in the lead. USA in second, Canada in third. Colombia moving a little closer towards the medals, but they're still behind Colombia. And the pace just coming out of the race. These 5 riders, 5 teams all marking each other. Canada on the front, with USA trying to defend that second spot. Canada looking to make the change on the front now. Canada putting a bit of pace in here, but the other 4 teams all matching it. Take the sprint again, and Chile right up in the mix now, ahead of Canada by 2 points. That Chile have been racking up the 10 points. We're going to sprint again. And it's going to be USA with the 5 points. So USA grabbed the 5 points there for taking the sprint. Chile in that bronze medal position. So 5 to USA, 3 to Mexico, 2 to Colombia, 1 to Canada. So Mexico on 62, USA on 34. Canada and Colombia both tied on 27 points. Chile just 1 point ahead on 28 points. So Chile, Canada, Colombia all close, getting closer to USA. Chile 6 points behind Canada and Colombia, 7 points behind USA. But with 5 teams in the race, 4 of the teams are going to pick up points every sprint. And that just means that you can't rely on a bigger field in a Madison. You know, a lot of the teams are not picking up points, but with Brazil out of it, Argentina disqualified, there's no teams that are going to be helping, that you can rely on to help you out. So just puts even more emphasis on the sprint, knowing that 4 teams out of the 5 are going to score. Some races, if you get that big lead, you can just try and come through 4th place and just add a point at a time. But not in this race. How can anyone look to gain a lap here? I'm struggling to see, unless the legs go for a team. Well, Colombia thinking they'll try and wind it up because they know the 5 points for them would be very, very helpful. Here come Mexico, though. Mexico get it, they'll move to 67. Mexico do get it. Colombia in 2nd, Chile in 3rd. So Chile move on to 30 points, tied with Colombia. Canada pick it up 1 point. So Canada move to 28. USA, the team not picking up points there. So USA stay on 34. 5 sprints to go. Unless anyone gains a lap, Mexico are going to have this. So even if another team gained a lap, Mexico would still be in the lead. They've been so strong in the sprints as well as picking up the lap. USA have picked up a lap as well. But USA have not been as good in the sprints as Mexico. Canada, Colombia are doing well in the sprints as well, but Chile working their way back into this one in a tie with Colombia on 30 points. If you're a fan of Chile, from Chile supporting them, it's nervous times because Canada's still 2 points back. They were active and doing well early in the race, but have just struggled in the last few sprints. But they've got to stay in touch. Remember, double points available on the last sprint of the race, and we're building towards that now. USA off the back again. And that's dangerous for the USA. They need to pick up points. Colombia and Chile are in touch. So we're on the sprint lap again. Canada needs some points here, but it's Mexico off the front. Mexico, Chile, Canada, Colombia, USA trying to get into it, but Chile could be about to pick up. Well, it's Mexico picking up another 5. Chile in second. I think Canada held off Colombia for the 2 points. So Mexico moved to 72. Chile up to 33. Those 2 points for Canada, very helpful. They move up to 30. Colombia on 31. USA stay on 34. This is Mexico's gold. But as for silver and bronze, that is anyone's guess. 4 points separate the remaining 4 teams beneath Mexico. USA on 34, Chile on 33, Colombia on 31, Canada on 30. USA alert that they are aware they need to start picking up some points. Three more 5-point sprints and the 10-point sprint on the line, and you can see on the faces of the riders what a grueling effort the Madison is. Oh, Chile in a bit of trouble there. They didn't make the change. They'll try again. Now the team's just giving them a bit of space. Let's watch it. Try and make the change. Well, they do make the change cleanly there. Well, they're a group of 5 riders, 5 teams that are left. Pretty evenly matched. This is making it a very cagey one, but Mexico go up the front. Everyone else has to respond, just as USA were making a change. And Grant Kuntz, the rider for USA. Canada need to try and overhaul Chile. Mexico off the front again. They're going to pick up another 5 points. They are dominating this Madison. Chile get 3, Canada get 2. So Mexico on 77. Canada move up to 32. Chile on 36. Colombia get 1 point. They are now tied with Canada on 32 points. Well, Chile up in the silver medal position, 30 laps to go. So nobody's going to overhaul Chile, Mexico here. They're going to take the gold, I'm pretty sure of that. But as for silver and bronze, 4 teams within 4 points. It's all going to come down to this final sprint, isn't it? The double point sprint. What a race, what a way to end the track program at Santiago 2023. These teams are leaving it all out on the track. Now, of course, a team could gain a lap, and that would cement a silver medal position, but I just can't see anything like that happening now. Mexico have got the legs. to sort of really mark anything, even though they don't need to. They could score no points in any of the sprints and still take this gold, as long as they didn't lose a lap. 23 laps to go. 2 more 5-point sprints, and then the double point sprint on the line. USA on the front, knowing that Colombia and Canada are close, and they could be in danger of dropping out of the medals. Chile, USA, Canada, Colombia all have to be so alert to each other. It's USA on the front as we take the sprint lap, but here come Mexico again. Nava and Peña-Salas have been absolutely exceptional. Canada losing it here. They're not going to pick up any points in this one. USA storming round. USA get the 5 points. Chile 3, Mexico 2. Colombia, I think, getting the 1 point there. So Colombia moved to 33. Mexico on to 79. USA and Chile tied on 39. Well, Canada not picking up any points. They stay on 32. They're in 5th place in this race, but could come back into it. But they're right in with USA at the moment. Just lost connection with the group in front. They're trying to get back. And Mexico have been dominating. Fernando Nava on the front. Arrigada for Chile. And it's all back together. Well, 16 laps to go with this race. The calculators are out everywhere. Well, probably more accurately, your phones are out everywhere, just trying to keep track of it. I do actually have a calculator in front of me. So Canada know if they want a medal, they have to start scoring, ideally in this sprint, and some big points in the double sprint as well. USA and Chile tied on 39 points. That tie likely to get broken before we get to the end of this race. Oh, it's head down for Canada. Chris Ernst on the front. Hands over to Michael Foley, who has got the legs for the last sprint. You take any opportunity you can in this race for a breather. This is where your team strategy comes into play. It's winding up again. Colombia off the front, because they're a few points behind. Chile making the change and Canada on the wheel, but here come Mexico round the outside. We're on the sprint lap. Mexico again are going to come through. It's Colombia off the front, but Mexico get it. Colombia in second. Chile, I think, in third, with Canada in fourth. Mexico moved to 84. Canada up to 33. Chile moved to 41. USA on 39 and Colombia on 36. But this is going to be mad sprinting over the final lap. And Mexico are going to make sure of it here. Final 8 laps or so, because we're on to the double point sprint. Mexico in the gold medal position. Chile in the silver medal position. USA in bronze. 6 laps to go. Canada need to, if they want to get on the podium, they're going to need to win the sprint, but it doesn't look likely. Mexico are off the front. Colombia are there as well, and this is good news for Colombia. The Mexican coach urging his team forward. Oh, it's frantic in the middle of the track. Colombia on the front of the race now. Canada, Chile, USA trying to catch up. Four laps to go, 3 laps to go. What can Colombia do? They're off the podium at the moment, but they could be about to go on the podium. Canada getting back in touch with the leading group, but it might not be enough to get them on the podium. They take the bell, we're on the final lap. Colombia leading, Mexico in second, and the legs are going from Canada. Chile and USA in a battle because these points could be so valuable. Colombia come through and take the 10 points. Mexico, the 5. The 6, I should say. So Colombia move on to 46 points. We'll have to just see a replay there. Mexico should finish on 90. They take the gold. Need to see who crossed the line in 3rd and 4th in that sprint. Canada are out of it. It's between the USA and Chile for the bronze medal. Mexico celebrate. What a ride from Fernando Nava and Ricardo Peña Salas. They did not ride at 3,673 kilometers an hour. They did ride fast, but not quite that fast. USA, Pippin Chile, 4 points for USA in that final sprint. Would you believe it? I think we've got a tie for 3rd. We do. But I think the medal goes to USA as they gained a lap in the race. Canada finishing in 5th. Mexico, absolutely exceptional. And don't forget, they had a crash in there as well early on. Going down and going down hard. Well, the Madison never disappoints, does it? I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Chile with the calculators out. They, I think, have missed out on a medal by the barest of margins. Wonderful scenes as Mexico celebrate. A well-earned silver for Colombia. Well, we're all catching our breath. Absolutely thrilling